Hi, everyone. My name is Josh Deline, and I'm a faculty member at University of Arizona. And in this talk, I'm going to tell you a little bit about using the Topological Toolkit as a platform for teaching a variety of courses. In particular, we surveyed a few courses where TTK had been taught in the last couple of years. And these courses generally ended up being graduate student level courses that were a mix of topics on computer science and data analysis. I'm going to focus most of my talk on a course that I taught in fall of 2017 that used TTK pretty much exclusively for all the data analysis in the course. But I've also looked at information from courses that were taught at UPMC Sorbonne, as well as Utah, where TTK was used in part with other data analysis topics. For example, the course at Sorbonne uses both TTK and GUDI to do topological analysis. Generally speaking, the students in this course were graduate students who were at either the master's or PhD level. And we typically had fairly minimal prerequisites. So students, we expected to have some kind of limited mathematical background, for which we covered some of the topological concepts using TTK. And we also generally expected them to be computer science students, which meant that they had some kind of background in coding, hopefully in C and C++, which is the major language used to do most of the development of TTK. That said, in some cases, we had students who were majoring in other areas who chose to come to the course. And in particular, in my course, I had a couple of students who were coming from backgrounds more like applied math or information science who also sat in the course and were able to gain quite a bit about their understanding of topological analysis along the way. So I'm going to spend a few minutes describing my course, and in particular, I want to describe why I chose to use TTK within the course and what were the sorts of things I hope to get out of it. And to understand that better, I think it's helpful to know a couple of the goals of my course. And the first main goal of this course that I taught, it was a special topic seminar on topological analysis, and I wanted to introduce students to broadly the field of topological analysis along the way. As a result, we actually spent quite a long period of time in the book, about 10 weeks or 2/3 of the course. This is 30 hours total of lecture and kind of reading group time, where we covered the vast majority of Edelsbrunner and Harer's book, Computational Topology and Introduction. And we covered this on both a theoretical level in terms of reading the book and going through kind of the proofs and theorems in there. But we also actually demoed examples from the books as well to kind of use TTK to reinforce the theoretical concepts with practical examples as well. And one of my favorite instances of this is we were talking about the course, or talking about the book rather, and we were going through this idea of using persistence and image segmentation, which appears in chapter 9 of the textbook. And we're reading through this section and talking about it, and you see this image on the right that appears in the book in black and white, where they're looking at a confocal microscopy image of basically its embryos of fruit flies. And you see this wonderful cellular structure that shows up in the image. And we asked the question, oh, well, could we actually do that segmentation right now? And as we were talking about this, I plugged my computer into the projector, we started talking about it, and I ended up saying, yeah, we can definitely do this with TTK along the way. And what I did was I downloaded the data set. You can actually find it pretty easily if you Google the paper reference that you see here below. And then I, with a little bit of data wrangling, loaded up the data in TTK, and you have the resulting network that you see here, where we took the data, we did a small amount of persistence simplification, and from there we used the more small complex to do segmentation, effectively recovering the cellular structure under some level of simplification, of course, in a kind of a recreation of the promise that's in the textbook as you start to talk about using topological structures for segmentation. And this was pretty cool because we were able to whip it together in really just a few minutes. Of course, it's rough and dirty, and there's kind of, or quick and dirty rather, and it's rough around the edges, but it kind of shows the main concept of doing that segmentation along the way. And this was pretty exciting, I think, to both me and also the students that were able to do this kind of on the fly in the middle of class. As a result, actually, if you go to TTK's website right now, you'll see this is an exact demo online that you can go and play around with. The second goal of my course was to help students gain knowledge about how topological analysis is used, particularly in the field of visualization, but more generally to do analysis of data. So as a result, the last third of the course, we actually spent some time surveying research papers associated with topological analysis, and students completed final projects based on these assignments. So students both used the TTK to reinforce the theoretical concepts that show up in Herbert and John's book, but also to do more practical and applied concepts to see how this was used in true data analysis settings. So how exactly did students use TTK? Well, generally speaking, there were two types of assignments in my courses. The first types of assignments were really just to understand key concepts and structures in topological analysis. To do this, I used a mix of TTK exercises, but also written exercises from Herbert and John's book. And in particular, these were things that were kind of common usage tasks for data analysis, using persistent homology to do data simplification, building topological structures that do summarization of data, using these structures to do things like segmentation of scientific data. The next set of assignments were really all about coding new modules that did not yet exist in TTK that were either extracting new data structures or extracting new features along the way, or recreating structures that already existed in TTK so that students could be more comfortable trying to understand exactly how TTK chose to implement them and try to understand kind of issues with robustness and kind of how do you do the implementation of these things. So you see on this list, we did things like Betty numbers and Vittori-Rips complexes, but also critical point extraction. And we actually did an approximation of the piecewise Morse-Fell complex, or the Morse complex in particular, because the TTK implementation uses the discrete form and theory version of this. And I wanted to show the students kind of how difficult it is to do the piecewise linear one. Generally speaking, all these assignments were to try to gain mastery in both implementing topological tools and then using them for data analysis. And here's a few slides that just show a couple examples of the sorts of things that students put together. This is a great example of using TTK to implement an object that you could then compare to a different object using pair view. And in particular, in the image that you see here, on the left is the implementation of a student's Vittori-Rips complex module, and that's the TTK Vittori-Rips complex that you see. And on the right, you actually see PairView's Delaunay 3D module, which has features to allow you to extract alpha shapes, and you can set the threshold for what alpha you want. So students were able to kind of compare the difference between VR complexes and alpha shapes side by side using PairView to kind of work with and visualize the structures that they're doing. In the next assignment that I mentioned, students were working with critical point extraction and classification. So basically, they used TTK's data structures to do a built-in filter that just spat out a set of points associated with the critical points of the scalar field by doing a local computation to say, is this point above or below its adjacent things? As a result from this, students saw a bunch of complexities and nuances in the degenerate cases that kind of show up here, especially for things like saddles, where it's somewhat tricky to identify the type and index of the saddle. And you can see here for this data set, there's a lot of critical points being shown up on the right-hand side, and that has a lot to do with the numerics of the data set as well as the geometric robustness of trying to extract critical points. Here's a picture of them using the output of one TTK filter as an input for a new filter they created. And in doing so, they actually did the piecewise linear walk for extracting ascending and descending manifolds, or the Morse complex of the data set. So this passed in a set of points. And then from there, the students walked along the triangles using a breadth first search to extract things like the ascending manifolds you see on the left or the descending manifolds you see here on the right. They also were able to use PairView to combine these filters with other features. And in particular, here you see an instance where they used the Morse complex that they extracted and to segment the volume associated with the data. And then they evaluated this by taking isosurfaces and effectively doing the intersection in PairView to try to see which regions of the isosurface are associated with which segments of the Morse complex. Real quick, I want to talk about some of the final projects that students used in TTK. And here's just a list of some of the things that they did, which were generally either trying to do computational improvements to things, like trying to do faster extraction of RIP complex, or comparing variants of contour trees to the implementation in TTK, or implementing new papers along the way. And the last two, shape matching and Pareto extreme extraction, are examples of those two. And I want to highlight those. Here's the output of one of the students' projects where they basically implemented this paper from 2013 by Hutenberger et al., that does multi-field scalar topology based on Pareto optimality. So this passes in multiple scalar fields and then labels the domains based on their Pareto optimality, which gives you some notion of things like shared critical points among the scalar topology. The second instance of this is a student chose to implement Thomas and Natarajan's 2014 paper on multi-scale symmetry detection in scalar fields. And the way this works is you cluster contours, but you rely on a description of the contours, in this case the contour tree, to give you classifications of them for which you would cluster. And what's cool about this is the student was able to take both the output of the algorithm and feed it into PairView, but then also visualize the output and see this kind of symmetric structure that shows up in the data set through pretty straightforward experiments along the way. To wrap up, I want to spend a little bit of time talking about some of the feedback that I got from students and discuss some of the things moving forward for this. And in particular, I surveyed students along the way using our course evaluation tools, and students really did like using the programming assignments to kind of reinforce the topological material along the way. I also got really lucky. I had a student in my class who just was a fan of topology, so you can see here they put in their comments that they love topology. Is kind of one of the things that they thought was great about the course. I also had some suggestions along the way that suggest that TTK is actually pretty difficult from a programming language point of view for students to work with. I'm pretty excited though that in the last year, we've done a lot of work on taking TTK and basically mapping it into a Python library using Anaconda. And I think students now have a lot of options in terms of being a developer of TTK or being a consumer of TTK, which would make a future course like this a lot easier to teach. With that, I'll wrap up my talk. I want to thank you all for paying attention. And if you are interested in using TTK for a course you want to teach, or if you have taught TTK in a course previously, I'd love to hear some of your feedback on it too. So please drop me a line and send me an email, or either find my contact info on my website and let me know, or let us know rather, how you've been using TTK to teach topological analysis and data analysis more broadly. Thanks, everyone.